I got 51 grandchildren, and I love them all. That's all the only thing I got anymore in this world. And as far as that goes, and I tell all my children and my grandchildren and all that I'll be happy to go because it's not too pleasant on this earth. And I can't remember all their names.
Yeah,
I can't even remember my own.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can't remember where I've been and where I'm going. I mean, that's when you get old.
Yeah.
During the Depression.
Yeah.
So I was raised up during the Depression, and I was 5 years old when I seen one of my one brother, and he would have been next to me in the Depression, and he was just a baby, and he died of pneumonia. So.
What year was that?
That was. I actually couldn't tell you what year it was, but it was 5 years. It was 19. I was born in 1924, and that was 1929.
Okay.
So that was during the Depression, you know, right around the Depression and stuff. And he died of pneumonia. You know, we didn't have no money for doctor bills or even to keep half. We lived in a chicken coop. Excuse me. We lived in a chicken coop, and nothing we had for the chicken coop was their red building paper for wallpaper in the inside, and Dad used the one room, you know, to breed chickens, you know, in a breeder, and you know, they had them in there. And what happened to me then too, you know, I was curious. I wanted to see the chickens, so I just lifted up the what's called. He had around a brooder, you know, and lifted up and strung a match so I could see in. I lit up. I burnt that one. Lucky not to burn the house down. You know, the fire company came and put it out. But then the outside of our house was made out of tar paper that you put on the roof. It wasn't. We didn't have no shingles. We didn't have no insulation or nothing like that. And we also didn't have a refrigerator, not even an ice box. Dad got one later on, but he had to give it to him. It was a big one. He put it on the front porch, you know, and there was a purpose for that. He couldn't keep no ice in it. Didn't have no money for ice, you know. He worked anywhere from in the pennies. I seen his slip. He worked at York Ice Machinery. That made air conditioners and stuff like that. And he worked in the foundry. He was a crane operator, and he turned around and he done the best he could. So did my mother. Had good parents, and did the best he could. I mean, as far as keeping the family healthy and stuff like that. And it was me and my sister. I can only remember when I was young in 1929. I was born in 1924, and that was by 1929. And of course, you got to excuse me, Joe. I'm only 24 plus 60. You know, me thinking about that keeps me a little younger. Not much, but I got COPD and advanced stages of it. I was out in Las Vegas, Nevada with my daughter for a while, but I came to York, and I figure I might as well stay here and kick the bucket or whatever they call it, you know, like the old fruit here in Newberry Street.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when he didn't have a house yet. And Dad just got the house the time I was born to about 1923. Yeah. So we were just young whippersnappers, you know. I had a sister, you know, she's 13 months younger than I am. And she come 13 months later, in August.
So you said when you were born, your first house was part of a chicken coop with tar paper in the walls.
It was the chicken that was in one room of the house.
Yeah.
There wasn't much dirt. Dad kept it pretty clean, and he had to dig his own cesspool, you know, and he did have water, you know, put back here by the York Water Company for practically nothing at all. And he worked, like I said, he worked for pennies a week. I mean, making a lift, you know. He didn't have much work. And I seen his card, his paycheck. It wasn't a paycheck. It's just a resume of how much it was. And he worked for 6, 7, 8 minutes, 8 pennies a week.
8 pennies
That's
a week.
when a penny was a penny.
Wow.
In them days.
Yeah.
Now today they throw pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, and that away. I know because I picked up a lot of them. You know.
Yeah.
After the snow melted or something like that, and these here, they just ain't got no value of money or nothing. But they'll have it now though, the way it's going today. What it was like. I seen my dad take a regular we call them gunny sacks. In them days they were just like a pillowcase, you know, and it's like a pillowcase. You'd take that and go in the commissary that the government give out. He'd come home maybe with maybe 6, 8 inches of stuff in the back, you know, all dried food and stuff like that, all dried up peas, corn, and carrots and stuff like that. But they were dried up, you know, and had them soak them in beans. I don't know what all of it. But they done the best they could. And my father used to go out and shoot crow. We'd have crow pot. And then also my mother would make groundhog. And it was good meat as long as Dad took the musk out of the front paw underneath the front legs. You know, underneath the front legs is what's called. You know, took the musk out, and then my mother would clean it up, and then she'd stuff it. You know, just like you stuff a chicken today, and turn around. It was good, but you'd be surprised what you eat when you're hungry. You know, you wouldn't figure on eating that today. That's for sure.
So was it like a stew that they made with groundhogs, or just ate the meat?
Just like the roast chicken.
Okay.
Just like a roast chicken. She stuffed it, and roasted it. And there's nothing wrong with them. I mean, they turn around, they wash their food, what they eat, stuff like that, groundhog. But they can. Well, later on in years, I found out that when I owned a farm, I found out that they're dangerous on a farm because they dig them holes, you know, down in, and then you come in, you could have an accident, you know, on a farm with a tractor and stuff. But they said we didn't seem to have too much to worry about, and the neighbors try to help one another, but today they wouldn't help nobody. I mean, the way I see it and look at it. At that age and stuff, and of course, it's just an experience. I mean, just like the war. It's just an experience that you acquire, you know, and so forth. And during the Depression, how tough you had it.
You said back then you didn't have toothbrushes, right?
Didn't have no tooth. I didn't have any toothbrush, but I had an old rag and stuff and used salt and baking soda to brush my teeth with. That's why I ain't got any today. See?
What would you say?